Hey everybody, Joe Caltabiano from VOXX by Gentex here. Today we are going to show you our new 11.6 inch smart TV seatback system. So these are smart TVs. They offer everything from old school DVD player to accessing apps via Wi-Fi connection to even playing media back from a USB. Some of the other cool features that are embedded in the system is remote gameplay, some mood lighting, but we'll get into that a little later when we show you the final installation. So when you take the goods out of the box, you're going to have two monitors. One of them has a DVD player built in and a USB input. The other one doesn't have a DVD player but has a USB input and an HDMI. So where these get positioned in the vehicle is up to you, the user. Since you can screen share, you could watch independent content on both monitors, or you can watch the same content. So it really doesn't matter what position, passenger or driver, you put these in. So it comes with a bracket kit. As you can see here, it's a very robust metal bracket structure. So just to give you a little synopsis of how this assembles, you have the metal bracket with a cantilever bracket that's going to slide under the headrest posts. So it's not interfering or attaching to the headrest posts themselves. So when you adjust your headrest up and down, the monitors are always going to stay in the same position. It's very robust, so it makes a solid mount. And then a finishing cover. So once you have the whole assembly done, it's going to look something like this with the headrest on top of it, the monitor mounted to it, covering up everything. There are some rubber grommets that can pop out here, and the reason why that is we don't want to see any of the hardware once this is finished for a clean appearance. But although it may be rare that you may adjust the headrest up and down, you could pop out these grommets to reach in there to get to the mechanism to lift the headrest up and down. So that's what they're there for. Some of the mounting hardware, essentially the basic tools you need is a 10mm socket, a screwdriver, a pry tool. The pry tool is to help you guide the wire around the seat post guide. So you stretch it out, there's no cutting involved. So this system can go in and go out like it was never there, which is nice. If you have another vehicle you leased or you're trading in your vehicle, you want to move the system to another vehicle, it's nice and clean. You can take it out just as easy as it goes in. But to get the wire around the seat post guide down through the seat, you're going to need this to stretch that out a little bit. Depending on the seat itself, you may need additional tools to dismantle the seat to actually get the wire through, but these are the essential tools you need to mount the system. The system comes with two Bluetooth 2-channel headphones, 2 sets of brackets, and like I said, the 2 monitors. So to get started with that, we're going to show you how to mount bracket assembly to one of the monitors. So it's very simple. You're going to take the bracket assembly right here, you're going to pop off the cover, you're going to slide this in, and there's some alignment holes, some little divots in here that'll help you guide you through it. And then once you align all 6 holes, you're just going to take your screwdriver and your little bolts here, and you're going to screw that in. Now this is a real robust assembly. As you can see, this is a metal bracket that's going to go underneath the seat post guides with a counter bracket that's going to slide right over it, and that's going to lock the monitor underneath the seat post guides so it doesn't interfere with the headrest movement itself. Being completely independent, you don't have to worry about when you raise the headrest up and down that the whole monitor system goes up and down. It'll always be stationary in one position. And once you have all this assembled on both monitors, I'm going to bring it into the vehicle and show you how that attaches. Now, if you notice on the back of the monitor, once the screws are all in, these are exposed. So in order to cover that, the kit comes with 2 little plastic covers. So the double stick tape, you just put on the back, it'll cover up these 3 holes right here. Now that that's done, we're going to proceed to the installation. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to remove the headrest from the top of the seat. So that could vary depending on the vehicle. In this particular vehicle, you have your one side that releases the headrest post on the one side, and then a little tool that went in here to release it on that side. So once your headrest is out, Now you can proceed to running a wire. Now this can be at your preference. I always find it easier to use a snake, but the gist of it is you're gonna take a pry tool to get in there to loosen up and make way for routing the wire down around the headrest post guide. Again, no cutting is necessary, and through the seat, and then find your power connection. So we're going to plug the 2-pin harness into the back of the monitor as such. Now there is a little provision here where you can put a zip tie to keep the wire harness clean. So we're going to just place it in there, put our cover back on, snap it in. Now we're ready to go to slide this underneath the post guides. 85% of vehicles are going to have these seat post guides that go, a couple inches into the seat. That's going to allow for the nice robust substrate for the mounting bracket to mount underneath. But for the other 15%, there may be just caps that float on top of the seat, or maybe it's a one-piece seat where a special bracket's needed. So we have a lot of specialty parts besides the universal bracket that comes with the kit, that if you just go to our website, voxelectronics.com, and then you can look under video and see our application guide. You go year, make, and model. It'll tell you if you could use a universal bracket that comes with the kit, or if you need additional mounting hardware in order to facilitate that installation. So the next step is going to be actually mounting the monitor underneath the seat post guide. So we have the brackets already attached to the monitor. What we're going to do is push down a little bit, and then what you're going to do is just going to slide the bracket with a little bit of force underneath the post guides. And as you can see, without the rest of the assembly being on, it's already a pretty sturdy mount. Then we're going to come in with our other bracket, which is going to cantilever right over the other bracket. So this one, you're going to go over the middle slot, and then you're going to slide it from underneath, applying a little bit of force. And once it's underneath, you're going to take the flat nuts that I have here. You're just going to thread them on, and what that's going to do is it's going to lock those two metal brackets together. You take your 10mm, lock them in, to tighten them down, make sure that your positioning is correct and nice and centered. And once that is on, you're going to proceed to your next step, which is taking the plastic bracket structure. And what this is going to do, it's going to go right over. And what it does is it sandwiches the metal brackets to this, still not interfering with the actual headrest posts that are going to go back into the vehicle, but it makes a nice solid mount. So this thing is locked in, not wobbling, and sturdy. So you're going to then take your locking washers, you're going to put those on, plug in your power harness that's right behind here underneath. That'll go right underneath, so it's nice and hidden. There's no spaghetti hanging out there. And once you put your finished cover on, you apply these two screws to that. Again, there's another little sticky cover that's going to cover all of this. Hide that, and then you can put your headrest back in, and your mounting structure is complete. So once you have the monitors installed, now it's time to let the fun begin. So you're going to power up each monitor. Just hit the power button on the top. On the DVD monitor, you can have 3 buttons. One is the power, one is a home button, and one is to eject the DVD. On the other one, you just have a power and a home button because there's no DVD player. So when the monitors are powered on, you can go into the settings menu, and you can set these monitors to automatically turn on when you turn the key on, or you can have them with auto off, so you have to physically press the button to power on the monitors. When you have kids in the back or whoever's in the back, it's sometimes easier to just have them power on. And either way, they're gonna always go through their boot up sequence. It's just when it's in auto on, it'll go right to this main menu. If it's in auto off, it'll go through boot up, and then it'll go into a standby mode. You're going to see similarities, but a little different. Being one of them has the DVD icon, one of them doesn't. In place of the DVD icon on the non-DVD monitor, you're going to have an HDMI input. So you have a lot of source inputs. DVD, obviously, the old shiny disc, old school, easy, pop it in, play, you're done. Now, for accessing streaming content through apps, what you're going to want to do is, first you want to set up Wi-Fi. So you're going to go into the settings menu, just like you would setting up a device on your home network. You're going to get a listing of all the available Wi-Fi networks. Now, that could be a new vehicle that comes equipped with a Wi-Fi hotspot. You can connect to that. Or you turn the hotspot on your phone. Whatever hotspot is active, once it's saved in the memory, whichever one is on is the one it's going to connect to. So to set up Bluetooth, it's very simple. We supply two 2-channel Bluetooth headphones with our systems, but you're not limited to using our headphones. You can use your favorite Bluetooth headphones or earbuds, whatever you want. You just go into the settings menu, you go to Bluetooth, you turn on your headphone. If they haven't been previously paired, you'll have to go through the pairing cycle. Once it pops up on the screen, it'll automatically connect. With our supplied headphones, our headphones have an audible confirmation and a visual confirmation. If you don't want to use the headphones at all, and just say you have small children, they're too young to wear earbuds or wear headphones, you can also pair to the vehicle audio system, as long as the audio system is Bluetooth equipped. There are a couple other settings in the menu. You have VOXX Link. VOXX Link is a unique way of remote controlling a system. So if you have kids in car seats and they're too young to operate the system themselves, you could download the free VOXX Link app. It's available on the Google Play Store and on the Apple App Store. You could choose your language: English, Spanish, French, Chinese, Japanese. Auto settings, two different stages of that. So automatic media playback is basically, if you're watching a DVD, you stopped the vehicle, got out to get some food, came back in, it's going to start where you left off. Monitor auto on or auto off, and then just update information for the system operation itself. If you call into a tech support, they'll ask you for this information to help us to get you back up and running, no problem. These monitors have the capability to receive over-the-air updates. These are Google certified systems on the new 11.6-inch, so every app that you download, you can automatically update right through the Google Play Store. So you go into the Play Store, you're going to do a one-time setup of creating an account, and once you create an account, you put in your credentials, now you have access to the app screen where you can search for apps, look for popular apps. So we're going to go back. I'm already signed in. What we did is we populated some shortcuts. So I already downloaded Prime Video, but we pre-populate Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus, and Google TV because they're popular apps. Once you go and you click that shortcut, it's going to bring you to the Google Play Store where you can install that app. And you could select whatever apps you want that's available, and there's a lot of them. Each monitor has 16 gigabytes of internal memory. So if you're familiar with apps such as Prime Video and Netflix, those apps allow you to download offline content. Well, with 16 gigabytes of memory, you could download a lot of offline content. As you can see with these monitors, they're very similar except for one key aspect. One monitor has a DVD player. It's as simple as grab a DVD, label side facing you, put in a DVD slot on the right side of the DVD monitor. All right, your main menu comes up, pick whatever you want, in this case, play. You're ready to go. All right, if you're tech savvy and you download content to a thumb drive such as this one, you can play back that media through the USB ports. It's traditional 2.0 USB, you plug it into the side. You select USB. Depending on what content you have there, you go to videos. If you have video files, you can play that back, or music, or whatever it may be. The USB could also be used as a low charge for your mobile device. All right, so since the system is two separate monitors, you have the capability to watch content independently on each monitor or share content in either direction from one of the monitors. You just set up screen share. where you set one monitor to be a transmitting monitor, the other to be a receiving monitor. Once you see that device name pops up in the display window of available devices, which it did here, you just press on it, you wait for it to connect, and then once it connects, whatever source content that you play from this monitor will play on that monitor as well. Now that Xbox and PlayStation offer consoles that have remote gameplay access, you go into apps, you select games, download the shortcut so you have the full app, and then once you're connected, you'll have to do a one-time setup between your game console that's at your house and your monitor. You bring your Bluetooth controller with you, pair it in the Bluetooth menu, and that's the only device you need. The game console is home, you bring your remote, and now you're playing games on the fly. The only caveat there is you have to have a strong Wi-Fi connection or cellular network. Remote gameplay is a feature that everybody's gonna love in the backseat, especially nowadays. Kids love games. It takes that demographic from young kids to teenagers. Everybody can enjoy an experience of entertainment in the backseat. All right, another thing that we added in here is mood lighting. So if your car came equipped with theme lighting, whether it's, under dash lighting, cup holder lighting, door sill lighting, you can go into lights and you can match that color. So what this does is it provides lighting indirectly. You can select your color and it gives you a little mood lighting, especially at night. It's a nice little ambiance added feature. You could turn that on or off. Hard to see during the day, but at night lights up this whole area. If you want the lights on or off, that's your selection. You want it to cycle through all the colors available, it could do that automatically, or you could select one color, select the intensity, and match the theme throughout the vehicle. And always have it on when you turn the monitors on. Nice little feature enhancement. If you have very young kids in the backseat that are too young to reach the system or to even control the system, we created an app called VOXX Link. It's available on the Google Play Store if you're an Android user, or on the Apple App Store if you're an iPhone user. Once you download that app, which is free, as long as your system monitors are connected on the same access point. So there's two ways of doing that. If your monitors are using the hotspot on your phone to connect to the Internet of all things, then they're on the same access point. If you're using embedded Wi-Fi that you may have in your vehicle, you have to make sure that the phone is connected to the vehicle Wi-Fi, the monitors are connected to the vehicle, then they're on the same access point. By doing that, then when you go into your app and you open up the VOXX Link app, and then the monitors will show up. So in this case, this monitor is popping up, I select it, and now if I'm in, I could see what they're seeing in the back seat. I can go into apps, I can go select an app like Netflix, and then I can basically control the whole system monitor right from my mobile device. So that's kind of an overview of the system, what it does, the feature benefits. The coolest thing you'll ever find in rear seat entertainment is only available through VOXX Mobile Video.